que llevaba unos días ya, una semana. Bueno, mira, desde el 1 de mayo que no he jugado. Que ver cosas y viciar al Valorant, lo he abandonado. Pero bueno, no vamos a hablar. Ya, libre tanto. Se está iniciando. Si hoy va el mando.
Reassure me, we aren't going to have to force that one, are we?
I don't think we're even capable of doing it. You're going to have to find a way to open it.
Why, of course. And what's inside?
Something to vanquish them with?
Perfect. So, how does it open?
We'll need several keys. I found a note from the architect who conceived the mechanism in Mortimer's secret study. We have to first gather 5 objects before we try anything.
Are the 5 objects the keys?
Exactly. We have the Clement III cross, the nails, the Gutenberg Bible, the exegesis of Judas, an armillary sphere, and all we need to match up the dates between the different calendars.
Yeah. Está esto complicado.
Why a cross?
Well, I haven't the foggiest idea, but it just so happens that's what you are going to use to activate the mechanism. I found the one Mortimer kept. It belonged to Cardinal Guibert, better known by the name of Pope Clement III.
Perfect. Where is it?
Unfortunately, I've lost it. When I lost my hand, I went dashing out, and it must have fallen from my pocket.
Remember, Mother. I'm certain you can remember.
Let me think.
You were running.
I was bleeding to death.
You remember the pain.
I thought I was going to faint. Yes, I remember. I don't think it can be far, can it?
Would you have lost it outside?
No, I don't think so. It must be in the area. I don't remember going up with it.
Perfect. I'll search the crypt before leaving.
Vale, una cosa menos.
Some nails?
Don't ask me. I'm not the one who made the mechanism, you know. When I arrived, there were already a few of them inserted, so I didn't have to worry about those. On the other hand, I remember seeing some in Mortimer's secret study, behind his nightmare.
And a golden cup? Yes. Yes, I saw them too.
Perfect. It will be easy for you to find them then. You need 3 of them.
Very well.
Pero te caen en el mismo
Remember
sitio.
what to do about the rollers. 1191 to enter, and 6466 to exit.
Of course. An exegesis. Anything else?
Did you manage to vanquish the Medusa?
To open the chimney? Yes, absolutely.
So you've already come across it. It's the Bible of Judas that is exposed in the secret room behind the chimney.
Why do they call it an exegesis?
Because that's what it is, and not an apocryphal Bible, strictly speaking. It's the study of a text with a summary, not an actual Bible. Anyway, well done for the Gorgon. You did well. You didn't get tricked by the light bouncing back.
Thanks. Do you think I can take it safely?
We haven't got a choice, Louis. Without it, we won't be able to work out this cursed mechanism.
This is the book in which you left your correspondence with Duchess Hillsborough, isn't it?
That's right.
You still believe it's in the tower room, don't you?
I don't know. There is only one way to find out, though.
Right. I shall go and see. There's one in the portrait gallery.
Yes, but it's enormous. If you don't want to have to go back and forth several times, then I suggest you get a smaller one.
What did you do then?
I didn't think I'd need one. I started without one, and I lost my hand before I did need one. And you can see the result.
What do you mean by the concordance of dates exactly?
Don't worry about that. We already have them. They are written on the back of the message I just gave you. One last thing before you go. Be very careful. If you come across anyone, they can all potentially be spies of Mortimer or Holm. Don't ever confide in anyone because a demon can slip inside them at any moment.
Wait, not all of them though. Take Washington.
Especially Washington. He's been conditioned by Mortimer for years. Look at them, for crying out loud. How do you explain their behavior otherwise? The most influential politicians in the Western world gather together without the least protection, without a single aid to assist them, to participate in a conference during which the guests start dropping like flies. Me, Adams, Peru, Hillsborough. Look at the number of calamities that have happened over the past few days. And not one of them has asked to leave the island? Do you find that normal? You'll see. Go up to the manor to look for the keys, and I wager not one of them will speak to you about my being in Emily's room.
Do you think so?
Go on, you'll see. And come back with all the objects in one go. Time is against us.
And remember, the code to get out of the secret office is 6466.
No me voy a acordar. A ver.
Why across?
No, los clavos.
Well, I haven't the foggiest idea.
Está.
But it just so happens that's what you are going to use to activate the mechanism. I found the one Mortimer kept. It belonged to Cardinal Guibert, better known by the name of Pope Clement III.
Perfect. Where is it?
Unfortunately, I've lost it. When I lost my hand, I went dashing out, and it must have fallen from my pocket.
A ver, sí, eso ya me lo has dicho.
Well, otherwise I can always go and see Piaggi. He's a cardinal after all.
Esto es lo que...
Some nails?
Don't ask me. I'm not the one who made the mechanism, you know. When I arrived, there were already a few of them inserted, so I didn't have to worry about those. On the other hand, I remember seeing some in
Me voy a
Mortimer's
apuntar los
secret
códigos
study,
porque si no ya no me
behind
voy a
his
acordar.
nightmare.
And a golden cup? Yes. Yes, I saw them too.
Perfect. It will be easy for you to find them then. You need 3 of them.
Very well.
You remember what to do about the rollers. 1191 to enter, and 6466 to exit.
Of course.
A ver, por aquí está el...
Devil's Thorn.
¿Sí? Ya.
Carmelite water will give me a little reprieve.
¿Qué cojones, Está la nada. Creo que no hay, hasta que no esté encima no se ve.
Let's see if I can work it out myself.
It looks like a kind of control panel. There's a cross-shaped slot there. I'd say you've got a place to claim the third cross in it. It looks like certain mechanisms I've seen before. I wouldn't be surprised if I had to put the claim of the third cross in it.
You ought to go, Louis. If someone finds us here, the situation might well become seriously complicated.
Sí, me he enterado, pero estoy buscando la puta cruz que tú has perdido. Ah, nada más.
What on earth is that? A disc with information engraved in the metal? An iris that should open, I imagine, in blood. Mother? The dried blood. There.
Yes, it's mine. Sorry if I stained everything, but I must admit that, at the time, my thoughts were more on the pain than cleaning up after myself.
There are Roman numerals, Arab numbers, and town names.
Go on. I'm listening. What do you think?
On each engraved piece of information, there's a hole. Those are for the nails, right?
That's absolutely right.
How many nails are needed again?
3.
One nail per type of information, I'm guessing.
In other words?
Well, a nail must be placed on each Roman numeral, one nail on an Arabic numeral, and one nail on a town.
Well done, Louis.
Tell me, I imagine that once we've solved this enigma, the iris opens, right?
Exactly.
All the town names mentioned have something to do with Christ, haven't they? Golgotha, Bethlehem, Nazareth.
Exactly.
Did you succeed in opening this iris?
Yes, by putting the cross on the console and the 3 nails on the disc, the iris opens. It gives access to a hole where I put my hand, thinking I could fully open the iris. There's a handle at the bottom, and as you can see, it didn't turn out very well for me.
¿Dónde coño ha caído la puta cruz? ¿Dentro? Creo.
A drachma.
He cogido 2 cosas. ¿Moneda? ¿Qué me decís? Sí, lo que quiero era- Tomar. Habrá que salir. Ah. Ve. Entra por ahí. Vaya a ser que la tengo. Me mongol. Al parte.
Not too shocked
I beg your pardon?
about Peru this morning. I asked you if you weren't too shocked by it all.
And yourself? Not too shook up?
The only thing that matters to me about that stupid man Peru is the disastrous situation in which it put us for the conference vote. I wonder why Mortimer even allowed him to roam around the manor armed. He was a veritable public danger.
Indeed. You don't seem to be too affected. Tell me. I was wondering. You wouldn't know where to find an armillary sphere, would you?
Do you really think this is the right time? Oh, ask Volner. I am sure he will know. What with him being passionate about astronomy, you ought to get on fine together. Leave me now. I need to think of a solution.
I'm in search of a cross of Clement III. You wouldn't have seen one, would you?
I beg your pardon? What are you playing at now, de Richet?
Oh, nothing. It doesn't matter. I'll figure it out. I won't keep you any longer.
Muy discreto y preguntando por ahí cosas que necesita para joder al dueño de la casa. ¿No?
What can I do for you, sir? I am at your service day and night, sir.
Vamos a ver.
Sorry, sir, but Mr. Peru is not seeing visitors.
Yo creo que este tiene uno de los objetos
And is to see no
que me han
one.
pedido.
Good luck.
¿Por qué no te aprovecho? Espérate.
A letter from William Pitt the Younger, addressed to Emily. He's the A letter from William Pitt the Elder, addressed to Emily. He was the English Prime Minister. This letter dates from 15 years ago now. Madam.
Early. ¿De qué?
Ah, Louis, come in. Your timing is impeccable. I wanted to have a word with you.
Oh, here we go.
I was
Pero esa no
wondering
era la
how
cruz.
you are getting on in your search for our poor Sarah. You must have made some progress, I should think. I am terribly worried about her, you know.
Come on, get out of here, Louis. You're in a hurry.
Any news of her?
I don't know why, Your Eminence, but I get the impression you're asking a question to which you already know the answer.
Well, let's say I have heard rumors, but I prefer to ask you the question directly.
Pues parece que sí, que era la...
What have you heard exactly?
It would appear that your mother is implicated in the death of the Duchess's twin sister. Oh, what a story, all the same. Twins? I was always wary of the Duchess anyway. I did not appreciate the facility with which she
Vaya
would
telenovelas
flaunt
han
her
montado estos movies.
assets. You know, Louis, I don't want to put you on the spot, but I sense you are worried and that you are not telling me everything. What exactly did you come looking for in my room?
What do you mean?
Louis, I was not born yesterday, you know.
No naciste
When you
ayer.
came in,
Salta a la
I
vista
saw
de que
in
no.
your face a hint of disappointment at finding me here. I concluded that you were hoping you wouldn't run into me. You came here for something else.
No. You're mistaken. I was just passing by. I shall leave you, Your Eminence. I wouldn't want to take up your time.
As you wish, Louis. See you later.
I have no time to lose, so I might as well not bother him.
Vale, tengo la cruz. La Biblia también la tiene que dar. Ah, no, la Biblia estaba en la mesa.
I have no time to lose, so I might as well not bother him.
Ah, la calle. Bueno. De Washington. Ahí. Esta es donde se murió la otra. Aquí seguro que hay algo. O deben. Si no, ¿para qué me sigue dejando? ¿De qué no? Ahí me salió.
30 November.
Sí.
August 24th. June 11th.
Vale. El rollito de habitación.
My dear Elizabeth.
Espero que sea por aquí, que soy capaz de andar en círculo. ¿Dónde está? Era este. Subir para arriba. Aquí está Paul. Para la esfera. ¿Sabes decirme lo de... Pero no está Paul.
Those are the maps that Lord Mortimer had on the wall in his room.
Ay, espera. Pues no. Vale. Y la espera.
An armillary sphere. Perfect. That will save me some time. I only hope that he isn't going to realize it right away.
¡No! ¡Oye! ¡Corre! Ah, la escalera para arriba. Oh. Falta lo de Medusa, la sala secreta de Mortimer y la SG6 que no. Ah, no, la SG6 era ahí. La Biblia es lo que sucede de esto. Lo ha usado Emma en la habitación de la torre. Tengo ni idea, tío. Tampoco hemos descrito el botón. Para ver la pizza sin querer ahí estando sentado. Y en 4 nada hacia arriba.
Right. This time, it'll be a lot quicker.
Ay, qué...
If I remember rightly, the code was 1191.
Anda, si me lo iba a recordar no me lo apunto. Por lo tuyo, acá está. Oh, vale. Está bravo.
Of course. Weaknesses of the Human Psyche by Gilhelm Trimor. Gilhelm Trimor. Trimor, an anagram of Mortimer. Wow. Arrogant enough to publish writings on mental control in full view of everyone. I wonder who he's writing for.
Sí, ya está. Ahí está la...
There. Those are the nails I was looking for.
Okay.
I noticed they were old and rusty, but I hadn't noticed these traces of... Could that be blood? Is it really the relic of the Holy Cross? I can hardly believe it.
Ya tengo cabo. ¡Para la calle, corre!
It's locked.
Habitación. Ha usado Emma en la habitación de la torre. Para salir 6-4.
All right, come on. Let's get out of here. 6466, if I remember correctly.
Ha salido del tiro. Para la habitación de la torre. Pajarillo que me cae. Pobrecito. Juego de tono y yo. Esta habitación de aquí. Esta era la de Emma. No,
Ah, Louis.
que
Glad
Washington.
you're
Qué susto
here.
y yo. Ahí de frente ya.
Blasted. He's gonna talk about my mother.
Come
No
and
debería
see
haberme
what
metido
I
aquí.
found. There are pieces of paper in the ashes of the chimney. Someone's been burning something here.
Incredible. He doesn't seem to want to speak to me about what happened between my mother and the Hillsborough sisters. Show me a little.
Look, it's possible to distinguish two different writing styles.
the rest of the correspondence between my mother and Emma.
Someone tried to burn an exchange of messages. I'm certain. There must be more.
Shit. What on earth is he doing?
Aquí está la habitación de los 4. Aquí es donde tiene que venir. Este que era débil, lo puedo ver ahora. De repente. Personajes. Diario. Es débil. No lo sé. Bueno, ahora ver. Inmune a manipulación.
Ah, I see. I know what it's about.
Do you know who was doing their communicating in this room?
Yes, but of course we must keep it to ourselves because it is still a sensitive matter. Volner and Elizabeth had an affair. Volner hinted that he'd found a way to remain discreet about it. I admit it is ingenious.
Well, I would never have guessed.
Delighted to have helped, but I still have to find my mother.
Of course. We shall see each other later in that case.
Wasted enough time. The Bible.
Aquí está la Biblia. A ver.
The Bible's still there.
Me queda ir a donde lo de la Biblia. Que no me acuerdo dónde estaba. ¿La planta abajo? Vaya susto me ha pegado el Washington asqueroso. Oh. Cabrón. Lo feo que es. ¿Dónde estaba ahí? ¿Dónde tengo que ir, tío? ¿Para dónde es? ¿Para allá? Luego. Esto. Y mapa frente. Es que es poco lío. Y como te tiras una tía así. Y eso es que se desempeña hasta en el mismo sitio, pero. Al ser circular. Segundo. Bien, ¿no? Izquierda, ¿no? Ahí a la izquierda. Ahí estamos.
Right. Let's see if the statues are in place yet.
Devil's Thorn. I'll keep it.
The lantern is already in the right position. Turn toward the shield. Shield toward the sword. Now that's good. The statue is already in the right place. The sword toward the Gorgon. That's good. It's in the right place. That statue is not positioned correctly. Open sesame.
Open sesame. Bueno, queda la SG que es.
Given all the relics preserved here, Caesar's laurel wreath. If Mortimer really is what my mother says he is, it could mean... No, that's impossible. No, not Caesar.
Okay.
So that's the exegesis of Judas. I hope Mortimer doesn't read it very often. Otherwise, he's going to notice that someone's stolen it. But that's just too bad. I need it. Right. I've got what I need. Now let's not waste any more time.
A salir por patas.
given the size of that armillary sphere, I'm really glad I found a smaller one.
Ya estamos aquí. Todas las fechas sí ya están apuntadas que la haga ella.
So, good. You've managed to gather all the keys.
Yes, that's right. I have everything. What should I start with?
Place the Clement III cross on the console. Then you have to put the nails on the disc of the door.
What hole should I put the nails in?
Well, I can't really advise you there, because I haven't exactly made the best choices myself. All I can say is that you have to insert 1 to choose a town, 1 to choose a chapter, and 1 to choose a verse.
What theme did you start with?
As the fresco shows the birth of Christ, I placed 1 nail in Bethlehem, 1 in chapter 2, and 1 in verse 6. The iris opened a little. I thought it was normal. Behind the aperture of the iris, there is a duct in which I put my hand. I felt something like a valve at the bottom. I thought by turning it the door would open, or the iris would open completely, or something else would happen. Instead, I felt something like an axe cut off my hand. I really thought it was the end of me.
What did you do then?
Well, although I had made some unfortunate choices, I was lucky in that Mortimer was well stocked with drugs. I raided his supplies of medicine.
All right, my turn now.
Go ahead, impress me. I'll shut up and let you concentrate.
Vale. Seis fechas, que hay 6 hojas. Primero voy a poner aquí.
This exegesis contains comments from Judas on the different Gospels. It only contains certain chapters and verses, and the chapters are indicated by Roman numerals. The lexicon refers to different chapters and verses from the exegesis of Judas. Chapter 2, verse 6. Jesus was born of Mary and Joseph on the 22nd of Taveth at midnight, 3762, in the village of Bethlehem. Chapter 2, verse 6. And so it was that, while they were there, the days were accomplished that she should be delivered of a child. And she brought forth her firstborn son, and wrapped him in swaddling clothes, and laid him in a manger, because there was no room for them in the inn. And there were in the same country shepherds abiding in the field, keeping watch over their flock by night. And lo, the angel of the Lord came upon them, and the glory of the Lord shone round about them, and they were sore afraid. Chapter 2, verse 6. Jesus was born of Mary and Joseph on the 22nd of Taveth at midnight, 3762, in the village of Bethlehem. Chapter 2, verse 6. Jesus was born of Mary and Joseph on the 22nd of Taveth at midnight, 3762, in the village of Bethlehem.
Creo que tiene que coincidir con la fecha, primera fecha que la de la... Y es lo primero que voy a poner. ¿No? Tiene que tener una relación de objetos. Se me ha bugueado. La lío para. Ya. Y esto por acá.
The cycle of the moons has nothing to do with what I'm doing right now. The cycle of the moons has nothing to do with what I'm doing right now.
Que nada tiene relación. Yo he escogido ponerlo.
Chapter 24, verse 3. Jesus rose from the dead on the 14th of Nisan, 3793, in Nazareth. He appeared with a halo above his head.
Vale. 14. Nazaret es el último. Vamos a buscar el 30 de Tirei.
Chapter 24, verse 3. But when they entered, they did not find the body of the Lord Jesus. While they were wondering about this, suddenly, 2 men in clothes that gleamed like lightning stood beside them. In their fright, the women bowed down with their faces to the ground. But the men said to them, "Why do you look for the living among the dead? He is not here. He has risen. Remember how he told you while he was still with you in Galilee."
Por ubicaciones.
Chapter 2, verse 6. Jesus was born of Mary and Joseph on the 22nd of Teveth at midnight, 3762, in the village of Bethlehem.
A no ser que ahora busquen el otro. Lo he vuelto a buguear.
Chapter 2, verse 6. And so it was that, while they were there, the days were accomplished that she should be delivered of a child. And she brought forth her firstborn son, and wrapped him in swaddling clothes, and laid him in a manger, because there was no room for them in the inn. And there were in the same country shepherds abiding in the field, keeping watch over their flock by night. And lo, the angel of the Lord came upon them, and the glory of the Lord shone round about them, and they were sore afraid. Chapter 14, verse 22. On the 7th of Nisan, 3793, Jesus shared his Last Supper in the Cenacle in Jerusalem.
No.
Chapter 19, verse 17. Jesus was crucified on the 8th of Nisan, 3793, in a place near Jerusalem. The Romans put a crown of thorns on his head.
Crucifixión. Vamos. Más temas. No sé si he mirado el juicio, no mira.
Chapter 10, verse 30. I and the Father are one.
Muy bien. ¿Vale?
Chapter 10, verse 30. I and my Father are one.
campos de útil. A ver.
Chapter 5, verse 2. Jesus cures the sick and lame on the 8th of Adar, 3791, in Jerusalem, at the pool of Bethesda. All stand and fling away their canes. Chapter 5, verse 2. Now, there is at Jerusalem, by the sheep market, a pool, which is called, in the Hebrew tongue, Bethesda, having 5 porches. In these lay a great multitude of impotent folk, of the blind, halting, and withered, waiting for the moving of the water. Jesus saith unto him, Rise, take up thy bed, and walk. And immediately the man was made whole, and took up his bed, and walked. And on the same day was the Sabbath. Chapter 24, verse 3. Jesus rose from the dead on the 14th of Nisan, 3793, in Nazareth.
El
He
último.
appeared with a halo above his head.
Ya, ese es la resurrección.
Chapter 3, verse 18. Words truly pronounced in Abagash. Chapter 3, verse 18. He that believeth in him is not condemned, but he that believeth not is condemned already, because he hath not believed in the name of the only begotten Son of God.
Eso no dice nada. Bueno.
Chapter 2, verse 2. Publius Sulpicius Quirinius was born in Lanuvium. Chapter 2, verse 2. And this taxing was first made when Cyrenius was governor of Syria. Chapter 2, verse 6. Jesus was born of Mary and Joseph
Madre mía,
on the
cuántas veces le da
22nd of Taveth at midnight, 3762, in the village of Bethlehem. Chapter 7, verse 11. Jesus went to Nain.
Sí, ¿qué me quiere decir con eso?
Chapter 7, verse 11. Jesus went to Nain.
¿Cuál fue?
What theme did you start with?
As the fresco shows the birth of Christ, I placed one nail in Bethlehem, one in chapter 2, and one in verse 6. The iris opened a little. I thought it was normal. Behind the aperture of the iris, there is a duct in which I put my hand. I felt something like a valve at the bottom. I thought by turning it the door would open, or the iris would open completely, or something else would happen. Instead, I
Voy a
felt
poner
something like an
atención.
axe cut off my hand. I really thought it was the end of me.
What did you do then?
Well, although I had made some
Hombre,
unfortunate choices, I was lucky in that Mortimer was well stocked with drugs. I raided his supplies of medicine.
Chapter 19, verse 17. Jesus was crucified on the 8th of Nisan, 3793, in a place near Jerusalem. The Romans put a crown of thorns on his head. Chapter 19, verse 17. Jesus was crucified on the 8th of Nisan, 3793, in a place near Jerusalem. The Romans put a crown of thorns on his head. The cycle of the moons has nothing to do with what I'm doing right now. The cross is stuck in the mechanism. I can't do anything. The fresco clearly shows the birth of Christ.
Louis, I can assure you that that is not the solution to this enigma. This fresco's only purpose is to mislead. I know that now. Please, focus on another theme about Christ.
I'll have to trust her. You could see that the paint has come off in parts. Difficult to see what was there, but I can distinguish the letters N-R-I. Nothing more.
Henry.
Why, of course. They're part of the initials I-N-R-I that you can find on the cross of Jesus at his crucifixion.
Tira clavo. Aquí. 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 Ya lo entiendo. Por acá.
The cross is stuck in the mechanism. I can't do anything.
Que ya lo he hecho. ¿Está? ¿Y ahora qué tengo que hacer?
It looks like there are 3 types of
Eso ya lo he
inscriptions.
visto.
There are 3 styles of writing, and I've got 3 nails. There must be a link. I must surely put in 1 nail per category.
A ver si lo voy a tener que meter en orden. Ya lo he hecho.
The cycle of the moons has nothing to do with what I'm doing right now.
Bien, pero. Ah. Ya lo he hecho.
The cross is stuck in the mechanism. I can't do anything. If Mortimer deliberately set a trap by showing the birth of Christ, then maybe the solution is the contrary. The death of Christ in that case? Yes, it's definitely a representation of the birth of Christ, but some of the details have flaked away. I can't see any other clues. One thing is for sure, this enigma deals with the life of Jesus, like my mother said.
Pues ya lo he hecho. Ahora que le doy. Ya lo he hecho. ¿Pero una palanca o algo? Desmadra.
Chapter 19, verse 17. Jesus was crucified on the 8th of Nisan, 3793, in a place near Jerusalem. The Romans put a crown of thorns on his head.
Uy. Uy. Ah, qué raro. No era Jerusalén donde lo crucificaron.
It works.
Well done, Louis. I hadn't seen those other wheels. Try connecting the theme to see if it goes all the way.
Pero iba a conectar temática para ver si avanza más.
There must surely be a connection between the wheels.
Hostia, qué complicado. Con
Different icons on this wheel, but it looks like some of them can't be connected to the other wheels. Mother, what do you think?
As I told you, I didn't get that far. Nevertheless, these icons do represent moments in the life of Christ.
I think I can make out each one of the icons apart from the one covered in blood. Going clockwise from the one I just mentioned, we have the halo that represents the resurrection. The waves represent the baptism of Jesus. It's more difficult to identify the next one. Maybe a crib, and in that case it's surely linked to the birth of Christ. The red herring that my mother followed. Then, the symbol represents the crown of thorns that Jesus wore during his crucifixion. The dove also represents the baptism. Certainly another red herring. Then comes the symbol of the Trinity. And finally, the candle that must stand for the Last Supper. Given the difference between the number of icons and the number of towns, I think that only one path connects all the wheels with one another. Let's try to connect the theme I've chosen with the rest. This wheel represents the different moons. In the occult sciences, we represent the full moon by an X. As for the dark moon, called the new moon, in cults, it's often associated with something harmful. This wheel contains several symbols made up of 1 or 2 figures and 1 letter. The highest figure does not exceed 31, and each letter corresponds to a month of the year. A for April, and M for March. I think these symbols must represent a specific date.
I can feel the lever at the bottom.
Good luck.
Pero si quiero girar.
Look at this. There are notches between each of the wheels. So, I have to link the name of the town from the theme I've chosen to an icon, then to a date, and finally, the date to the moon.
Lo único que no me queda claro es de la luz. Quiero girar.
The moon's shadow moves from west to east.
During new moon, the moon is entirely in the shadow. Then,
Creo que tengo que
shadow
poner
moves
la
from west
fecha para ver
to
qué
east,
luna
meaning
es
left to
ese día.
right,
Solo-
and goes through the following states: waxing crescent, first quarter, waxing gibbous, full moon, waning gibbous, last quarter, waning crescent, and the cycle starts over with the full shadowed new moon.
La luna que quiero es la de 7.
7th of Shaban,
Cuarto
607,
creciente.
first quarter.
Y ahí había que ver. Era el 15 o el 7. Hola, bueno. Ya alrededor ahí con.
Let's see what combination corresponds to the chosen theme.
La fecha ya me la. La fecha. El 20 de marzo. Ahí dice que tengo. Es que no lo veo. Sí. Ahora, la luna me ha dicho que es cuarto creciente. Hay dos, ¿no? Es que creo que es la N la que... Es la N la que me va a decir si es la de la derecha o de la izquierda. Porque creo que es el de la derecha. Porque el de la izquierda es corto.
The moon's shadow moves from west.
Desde el oeste hacia el este.
During new moon, the moon is entirely in the shadow. Then, the shadow moves
Izquierda,
from west to
derecha.
east, meaning left to right, and goes through the following states: waxing crescents, first quarter, waxing gibbous, full moon, waning gibbous, last quarter,
Creo que la tengo
waning
bien.
crescent, and the cycle starts over with a full shadowed new moon.
Izquierda, derecha. Pues yo creo que está bien. Yo mismo me quedo de mano. Vamos. Oye.
I can feel the lever at the bottom.
Sí, sí. Toca,
Good
toca.
luck.
Va a perder la mano. Tira.
I never doubted you, my son.
¡Toma, toma! ¡Ole! ¡Oh, oh, oh! ¡Ole! Ha contado lo suyo. Vale, he acabado el capítulo 10. Voy a jugar el 4. Vale, al menos más. Vamos a hacer uno más. Menos. Punta de la despedida y la primera. Yo creo que esta semana me paso Chile del Fuerte. Ya no tengo más libros.
I sense that Mr. Peru is about to surprise us too.
I believed in him. I followed him to the best of my ability. I championed his ideas, defended his decisions, and then, without even realizing it, I became lost.
Now that I've told you everything, you want to take my place, do you? No. I am Emily. You are wasting your time. Louis knows very well how to tell us apart.
Someone
Está
had the
como un
bag coming from the
recopilatorio de
Duchess's room.
lo que ha ido
She isn't
pasando con cada.
answering.
Louis, you really must learn to conceal your weaknesses better. If you don't want your foes to use them against you.
Our desire is to steer the destiny of our respective countries for the good of all, and to no longer suffer the random hazards of history.
It is the natural order of things, Monsieur de Richet. There have always been men who govern other men. That is simply the way it is.
History forgets them with a disconcerting facility. No one speaks about them, and yet they whisper in the ears of kings and presidents.
Ahí con la mano. Yo pensaba que perdía la mano ya. Hostia. La ciudad.
But where are we?
I don't know, but we better not hang around. Be careful, Mother. As if me saying that will make any difference. Knowing Mortimer, I wouldn't be surprised if he rigged his crypt with traps.
So you think the door is not enough?
Do you want to wager your other hand?
You've got a point there. We have to find that weapon.
¿Qué vas a decir?
What do you know about the Holy Lance, Louis?
The what?
The Lance of Longinus the Centurion.
Yes, the centurion that pierced the side of Christ with his lance. That weapon naturally became a holy relic.
Exactly.
Seriously? You don't really believe that fable, do you?
Every fable is founded on true events. I'm not saying that everything adds up, but imagine if it really did exist.
Very well. Now what?
Well, now you know what you need to find.
Pardon?
I have to get to the wharf to prepare our departure. Let's get off this cursed island as quickly as we can. We shall come back when we are ready and armed.
But hang on.
Louis, let's first get to safety. We shall come back when we have the upper hand. Fear not. You take care of getting the lance. It's imperative. I'll take care of preparing our departure.
Hang on. At least tell me everything you know about this lance.
But I have never seen it. There's nothing else I can say, Louis. Well, you can always go snooping around Mortimer's study. I remember seeing paintings of Longinus there.
Hang on a second.
What's the matter?
Why did you shoot Emily's sister?
Do you really think now is the right time for this?
I want to know, Mother. Why did you betray her?
Listen, Louis. I don't think you've really understood my interest in the Al-Azif. It's not just simple curiosity about some old relic.
You tried to kill her.
And I had no choice, for crying out loud. It must not fall into the hands of the demons, or we are all doomed, don't you see? Listen, I don't know exactly what it contains, but I prefer to be one step ahead. If they want it, there must be a reason. And even if I don't know what it is, I want to stop them for safety's sake, no matter what.
Nothing will stop you if I understand correctly. Not even...
Enough, Louis. If you could see the extent of their power as I do, then you would understand what I'm saying.
All right, we'll do it your way.
One more thing. If they find you in possession of the lance, they won't let you get away with it. Choose only one and hide it under your jacket so you don't get caught with it. Then run and meet me on the wharf.
And if I get caught?
If they catch you in possession of the lance, we're all doomed. Do you understand?
Perfectly.
Good. And go talk to Piaggi. He's the one who probably knows the most about this.
Qué raro todo. Tumba.
Flavius Aetius. It was cut a long time ago. You can tell by the rough hacks of the tool and the patina of the stone. This sarcophagus is very ancient. I'd say it's several centuries old. I remember. He was the Roman general who defeated Attila and his hordes in the terrible battle of the Catalonian plains. Flavius Aetius, the one they call the last of the Romans. He was assassinated by his own emperor, who was jealous of all his victories. But how did he end up here? The sarcophagus has been ravaged by time. It's sort of ageless, I guess. It's entirely sculpted. Is this the tomb of a king? Judging by all the sculpted symbols of power, this is really ancient. The inscriptions are all eroded. I don't know what those marks mean, but maybe a stone or an epitaph. These symbols, these grooves, cuneiform script. This is humanity's oldest alphabet, the language of Babel. Sadly, no one today even knows how to decipher it. There's also some text engraved beneath in ancient Greek, Sargon. We can see that this lance has a particular spear shape. It is coated in gold. You can distinguish the symbol of the fish engraved on the tip, barely noticeable. There's several spearheads. I need to find clues to pick the right one. Piaggi knows something about it for sure. Honey, I couldn't have hoped for better. We can see that this lance has a leaf shape, and, well, it's in gold. I can see that a crucifix is engraved on the tip, just barely visible. There's several spearheads. I need to find clues to pick the right one. Piaggi knows something about it for sure. Let's take a look at this lance here. It has a very special leaf shape. It is copper rimmed, and I can see a fish symbol engraved on the tip. There's several spearheads. I need to find clues to pick the right one.
Son tan grandes, podría llevar todas, sí. Deja de dar por culo. ¿Por dónde coño venía ahora? Mira la cámara. Se lo olvidé. Okay, good.
I can see that this lance has the shape of a boar spear. The blade is partially coated in copper, and I can just make out the symbol of the Eye of Ra engraved on the tip.
Ya, sé que no me va a dejar coger.
I can see this lance has a spear shape, it is copper rimmed, and it has been engraved with the symbol of the Christian fish on the tip. There's several spearheads. I need to find clues to pick the right one. Piaggi knows something about it for sure.
Venga, la quiero examinar.
This lance has a leaf shape. It is copper rimmed. The symbol of the Christian fish is engraved on the tip. Honey,
The remedy of the gods.
The sarcophagus of Lord Mortimer.
Yeah.
It's the only sarcophagus in this crypt which appears to bear the Mortimer family name. What ancestor can it be? There's no inscription.
Que sea el que no tantara para
Let's see
culo.
what we can find here.
Corta la hambre. Pero guapo.
Ha! Great. Now let's see what's inside.
No hay nada. No hay nada.
The sarcophagus of Lord Mortimer.
Y ahora sale cerrado. Vaya. Vaya, bu. Ay. Hay que pegarle un telefonazo. Que tenga el teléfono. Bueno. Cargo por ahí. Todo lo que ha cargado el normal. A lanzazo. Siempre pegaba a lanzazo. ¡Ay! Saludo más. Cosa más rara. Esta habitación donde coño está. Van a buscarlo. Nadie. Ay. Pero el palo, parece.
Your Eminence, would you have a moment to spare?
Not now, Louis. Please, leave
Voy
me
a acertar. ¿Qué
I
cierto?
beg your pardon?
I want to be alone.
Very well. I'm only searching for information about the lance of Longinus, the soldier. If you could...
You are not listening to me. You are playing with fire.
I heard you speak to Mr. von Wollner about it, and I was wondering if you could tell me something about it.
That was a private conversation. How could I have known that he was listening to us?
I see what you mean.
Louis, don't push it. Leave while you still can.
Your Eminence, are you all right? Your Eminence, are you with me? Can you turn around, please?
What do you want to know about the Holy Lance, Louis?
Your Eminence, turn around.
This is the weapon used by a Roman centurion on the very day Christ was nailed to the cross.
Look at me.
Longinus thrust his lance in the right side of Jesus.
Please.
As you wish.
His nose is bleeding.
So you are looking for the Holy Lance of Longinus, are you?
Yeah.
Your Eminence, you're worrying me. What is happening to you?
Nothing, Louis. Just a moment of weakness, but I'm better now. I am all ears. You are looking for the lance. You should know, you are not the only one. Lord Mortimer has spent a good part of his life and his fortune trying to find it. Never will he let you have it. But tell me, before going any further, have you spoken to anyone else about this?
No, Your Eminence. I thought you'd be the only one able to help me with this.
Your words lack conviction, Louis. If I'm asking you all these things, it's for your own good, you know. You have no reason to lie to me. Imagine you find it, which I don't doubt, given how resolute you are when you've got something on your mind. Then what? What are you going to use the lance for, exactly?
If I told you why I needed this lance, you would never believe it.
Trust me, you can tell me anything.
It's our only chance to vanquish the demons.
Oh, my dear God, Louis. You sound just like Sarah. Do you realize you are following the same path, step by step? Sarah also started by imagining things. She, too, spoke of demons, I am told. She could no longer speak to anyone, and saw a hidden monster in every guest, lurking in the shadows, ready to devour her. You must let us help you. Louis, I thank you for your sincerity. I shall answer you about Longinus. You deserve to be told. His spear-headed lance did indeed pierce the side of the Messiah. His blood gushed out, covering the head of the lance. It was covered in the blood of Christ.
Thank you. Thank you, Your Eminence.
You are welcome. Be careful, Louis. You are on a perilous path. Don't follow Sarah's demons, my boy. Don't delve too deeply into her delusions, or you won't be able to come back. The demons that she is frantically trying to drive away are in her own mind. Take good
Pero hay
care
un
of
pavo
yourself.
que no ha muerto nunca. Que es muerto, pero el demonio no. Algo chungo tiene el pavo. Pero el pavo entonces tira. Sí.
Atrus, the Miller brothers. Mother expressly forbade me from reading it. The Song of Roland. Roland feeleth his death is near.
Yo creo que ya sé.
Brain is
Yo
oozing by
voy
either
para
ear.
allá.
With his brain oozing, it's already remarkable that he can feel anything.
Yo creo que no va. Por aquí. Era una de... A ver si la encuentro.
Let's take a look at this lance here. It has a very special leaf shape. It is copper rimmed, and I can see a fish symbol engraved on the tip.
Tampoco. Ahí.
This lance has a leaf shape. It is copper rimmed. The symbol of the Christian fish is engraved on the tip. This lance has a leaf shape. It is copper rimmed. The symbol of the Christian fish is engraved on the tip. Now, I must be sure of my choice. I don't want to make a mistake here. Am I sure this is the one to take?
¿Quién no me ha dicho que sea de todo esa puta? No sé, como no lo dice capullo.
I can see this lance has a spear shape, it is copper rimmed, and it has been engraved with the symbol of the Christian fish on the tip.
¿Cómo se dice chufo en inglés? Que lo pronuncia, pero no está traducido.
This lance has a leaf shape. It is copper rimmed. The symbol of the Christian fish is engraved on the tip. This lance has a leaf shape. It is copper rimmed. The symbol of the Christian fish is engraved on the tip.
Esta no. Pero chuzo el lanza. Mira.
I can see this lance has a spear shape, it is copper rimmed, and it has been engraved with the symbol of the Christian fish on the tip.
Hey. Chuzo el lanza. Hey.
I can see that this lance has the shape of a boar spear. The blade is partially coated in copper, and I can just make out the symbol of the Eye of Ra engraved on the tip. I can see this lance has a spear shape, it is copper rimmed, and it has been engraved with the symbol of the Christian fish on the tip. I can see this lance has a spear shape, it is copper rimmed, and it has been engraved with the symbol of the Christian fish on the tip. I must be sure of my choice. I cannot get it wrong. Am I absolutely sure this is the one to take?
¿O no? ¿Ahora la puedo cambiar? Si no, ahí está. Ahora me lo dirá al acabar. Fijo. Podría haber ido a hablar con Warner y que es el que cree en las cosas en el oculto y todo. Pero como no tengo puntos, no tengo una dolencia, no tengo ni... Pues estos dos últimos capítulos me han tenido resolviendo acertijos todo el rato. No he cogido nada. Ah, sí, la he elegido. Ay, no he encontrado toda la copia. Pero sí he cogido la que era. Cuatro puntos. Cuatro.
I'm already pressed for time as it is.
Ha sido cortito este
Mother waiting
capítulo.
for me on the wharf.
¡No tengo más! ¡No! Vete con la mamá en el embarcadero. Con la...
De Richet,
Goodbye.
sticking your nose everywhere again.
Wow, what's the matter with him? Excuse me, monsieur. I don't follow you.
I haven't come all this way just to fail so close to the goal.
Why? What are you talking about?
I am talking about what you are doing. This conference is going to boost my career. There is no question of me letting you ruin everything. I just surprised Piaget and Volner talking. You are about to rob Mortimer. Give me what you took from him immediately.
Let's keep calm, please. I don't know what you're talking about. I'll have to cut this short, quick. Look, I don't know what you're going on about, and I don't have time for this right now.
Don't bank on getting rid of me so easily, De Richet. Where have you been?
Did Lord Mortimer tell you you could trust me?
Yes, but...
So, I'm working for him right now, and you're wasting my time with your questions. Look, if he hasn't taken you into his confidence, then you shouldn't know yet.
I'll soon figure out what you are up to. And I am convinced that you have indeed robbed Mortimer. The game is up. Give me what you took from him.
You know, this is becoming an obsession with you.
Show me what you are carrying, or I will call the servants.
Very well. Fair is fair. You've exposed me. Here, this is what I took from him. Look, I'm sorry. I acted on a bizarre impulse.
I don't know either, and frankly, you have disappointed me.
Ah,
That said,
mongolo.
it's not as bad as I thought it would be. Right. We'll leave it there. I'm glad that things have been cleared up.
So, are we finished here?
Indeed we are. I shall leave you.
That's right. Go play somewhere else. See you later, monsieur.
Venga, a pasar. Entonces,
Come on. I have to hurry up and join my mother at the wharf now.
bien jodido. Tengo la platita. No hay nada. Me encontraré con 200 tontos de camino al pasado. A ver. ¿Es por el otro lado o por ahí? Una puerta. Nada. Ok. Pasa por la biblioteca por la web. ¿Seguro seguir ahí? Se habrá tirado ya.
Am I disturbing you?
Monsieur de Richet, I have found this conference at times quite amusing. Please forgive that rather public humiliation. But I think you've learned your lesson. No hard feelings?
You. If I hadn't planned to be gone within the hour, I would gladly return the favor. Those are the risks of the profession. You can't win them all.
Oh, while you're here, you wouldn't know who the last guest is, would you?
What do you mean?
I heard Sir Gregory speaking about it. A certain Al-Asif something or other.
Who? What?
Obviously not. It's not important, forget it.
No, hang on.
It doesn't matter, I'm telling you. We'll find out soon enough. I'm in a hurry right now. I'm waiting for someone. See you later, Louis.
Te la ayuda a leer ahí,
Not time either. See you later.
Y una mariposa el coche. Explicación. Y en la puerta para que salga. Ya vale. Hostia,
Ah, Louis. Perfect timing.
As luck would have it.
Come, my boy. I would like to have a word with you.
o no.
Excuse me, monsieur. Lord Mortimer is asking for you.
¿Por qué no quiero ir? Me voy por la cara de Dios. Encerrona. Qué viejo es.
Come closer, please.
Pasa, tío.
It's time we had a little chat.
What's wrong, my lord? Tell me. What's with all the bodyguards?
Louis, it's time you found out the truth. I've been observing you since you arrived. I see you running all over the grounds in search of Sarah. I would like to prevent her from leading you even further down the wrong road.
The wrong road?
Louis, Sarah has made her own choices of her own free will, and I would like for you to have the same chance. You see, Sarah and I have known each other for a very long time, Louis. I am aware of her theory. About me, about Gregory, about the demons.
And it's true.
She's right. Look at me. I have inhabited this body since 1191. For the last 602 years, I have been this dear William Mortimer.
You've been Mortimer for 600 years? How long have the demons been among mankind?
Oh, I don't think I'd be lying if I said that we have always been here.
And you truly have the power to manipulate the thoughts of men.
That's right. Every demon has the capacity to infiltrate the minds of men and to read and steer their thoughts.
Can you tell me more about your capacities, your supernatural powers?
Supernatural? From my point of view, they are perfectly natural. Well, Louis, just because the monkey does not fly doesn't mean that we should consider the bird a supernatural creature. We are all part of a grand design. We are simply made like this. By developing our art, we are able to read thoughts as well as write in the minds of men. It is possible for us to make them bow to our desire, but it doesn't work without leaving some scars.
And what do you do with this power?
We help them, of course.
Of course you do. And you expect me to believe that, I suppose.
Louis, demon is just a word. It all depends on what exists beneath the surface. I understand that this isn't easy. The culture of men is centered on the fact that demons are responsible for all the evils on Earth.
But if it's the same in every single culture, then maybe there might be something to it, don't you think?
Certainly there is something to it. Control. Man has spent his existence wishing to believe in the supernatural and imposing his belief on others. What could be more convenient for manipulating the masses? A perfect, inaccessible being and a plethora of demons in every one. The perfect idea to relieve men of all responsibility while still finding them guilty.
Lucifer, the fallen archangel, left heaven accompanied by 133,306,668 angels. Is it true that there are that many of you?
No, I assure you, Louis. Forget your Bible class. It's ridiculous. We are not angels. We don't have wings. There is certainly nowhere near 1,000,000 of us. And for that matter, no sacred human text represents us correctly. There are several families, and the family to which I belong has 8 siblings, including Gregory and myself.
Sir Gregory is your brother?
Yes, what can I say? You can't choose your family. But it is very difficult to know exactly how many of us there are because a large number of our kind remain hidden or never reveal themselves even to us.
You're the devil incarnate.
The devil? I'm not saying that all Judeo-Christian folklore hasn't served us, but the truth is, of course, something quite different. Please, don't look at us through the primitive prism of religions. I am not hiding any horns or goat's feet, Louis. I have no tail.
Why do you bring up folklore? You mean that you've taken advantage of people's beliefs?
No, not exactly. I mean that we in fact created them from scratch. It is amazing to see how mankind has such a strong need to believe in something superior to itself. It was very instructive for what was to come.
Why should I trust you?
I'm not asking you to, Louis. If you are still in doubt about the demons, I can assure you that won't last long.
Eso es una amenaza.
What has my mother got to do with all this?
She embarked on a crusade many years ago to kill all the demons.
That must have upset you. I imagine you retaliated.
No, I'm afraid she never forgave me.
Forgave what?
We met when she was still just a young woman. I appeared to her in a different form because I didn't want to reveal the identity of Lord Mortimer at that time. She was looking for someone interested in the occult to decipher an ancient book. We spent many years together until I revealed my true nature to her.
The old book was Al-Azif, wasn't it?
Did she speak about it?
Not so long ago, yes.
Indeed, it was already Al-Azif. She wanted to unlock the secrets.
What are the demons' projects for humanity?
Our aim has long since been to protect humanity from itself. On the other hand, although we give them the impulse to succeed, we don't all agree as to the path they take to achieve it.
But why me?
Why do I tell you about the greatest secret ever revealed to man?
That's right.
I'm coming to that, don't worry.
How would you qualify your species, scientifically?
Good question. What is your area of expertise?
I would say biology.
So, I would class demons along with parasites.
The comparison's not very flattering. You live inside a host and you feed on that host. Do you not?
A large number of parasites are essential to the survival of their bearer, you know. We do indeed choose a host, we enter inside them, and we evolve with them. But if you prefer a more philosophical approach, or a more poetical one, consider us as an idea. We are an idea that penetrates the human spirit. But in fact, in no way are we a danger for our hosts. Quite the contrary, we strengthen them.
Continue.
Louis, it's time you opened your eyes.
After you.
¿Hasta cuándo caga?
Did what happened to Elizabeth Adams have anything to do with you?
Unfortunately, the poor girl became an issue between us, in spite of herself. A family of demons is still a family, and as in all families, there are disputes. Elizabeth's family, the Adams, has always been under the patriarchal control of my father. As he and myself are not really on very good terms, sending poor Elizabeth here was terribly rude of him, really.
You did accept, though.
No, I would say rather I was presented with a fait accompli by Gregory and went along with the intention of helping her. But this is my castle, and everyone is the master of their own home.
It was you who killed her.
The child was already condemned, Louis. My father would never have let her be. I had to pass inside her mind and, yes, make her take her own life. Trapped between the unyielding control of my father and your mother's terrible treatments, I wouldn't wish a life like that on anyone. Would you?
So neither my mother nor Peru were ever guilty. You just gave me the runaround with that whole investigation.
Now don't take it the wrong way. I was obliged to keep up appearances so that Gregory wouldn't suspect me. And it enabled me to size you up, Louis.
If you could manipulate us mentally, what's the point of all the theatrics of the conference?
You must suspect that we asked ourselves that very same question. For many centuries, we didn't organize any conferences, and most of the time, it ended in civil war between demons. Many of us were killed during this period. The idea of organizing conferences was the answer to everything. The interest being to erect some rules among ourselves. Our family first divided up all the principal countries of the world. Now, whenever one of us wanted to propose a major change between these countries, they summon the demon in question and initiate a conference. The demon that initiates the proposition doesn't have to give notification of the subject of the conference beforehand. Consequently, we participate along with our best assets. Once the humans are brought together, the conference begins, but we are forbidden to use our talents to influence the participants. The first meeting is held in order to expose the subject to all the participants, followed by several days of reflection, during which we are allowed to be persuasive but not to impose. The second meeting closes the conference with a final vote.
So, for you it's a game, isn't it?
I understand your remark, but after living several centuries, you stand back and enjoy what reflection
was looking
and
for the
pleasure
Al-Aziz
you can.
for you.
Exactly. Al-Azif has always belonged to my family, Louis, and with good reason. My father wrote much of it. Can you tell me what you've done with...
What, you mean the Al-Azif?
No, I already know that. Sarah came here with it and got rid of it. I was thinking of von Bortert. He isn't essential, but he is a trusted person.
He's a prisoner at our headquarters in Paris.
All right. I hope I've answered all your questions.
¿Qué se lo ha dicho?
Come, I've something to show you.
Me deja irme.
There is one question that remains to be answered. Why me? Why tell me all of this?
Oh, haven't you guessed yet?
I mean, it's obvious you want me on your side, but that doesn't explain why you're telling me all
Joder, por
these
tal de no
things.
mirar el
Louis,
diario.
this conference is indeed of capital importance to me. And yes, I want you on my side. But that's not the main reason that compels me to confide in you.
What is it then?
Look, we are of the gods, Louis. Always have been. You, as much as me, you are one of us, Louis. You too are a demon.
Es mi padre.
Are you serious?
You know it. Deep down inside, you know I am telling you the truth. Where do you think that natural, charismatic presence comes from? Your talent must already have manifested itself somehow. Have you ever had any visions?
No. Stop it. It's absurd.
Have you never found yourself suddenly inside someone else's body without knowing why?
No.
Whilst asleep, maybe? That's how it often happens the first time. Your spirit wanders unconsciously.
My mother can't have lied to me about that.
It's true. Your real mother would never have lied to you.
What do you mean?
Louis, I would rather you found this out from her own lips, but it's important that you know. Sarah is not your mother.
What?
I'm sorry you had to find out this way, Louis. But you must know the truth before you commit an irreparable act.
No, no, it's not possible.
You are my son.
Chum.
Liar! Well, well. So now you're his bastard. You really took me for a fool. Don't make a move, you clowns!
Everybody keep calm.
Don't say a word or I'll shoot your kid! Not so clever now, are we? At last I found a way to put the pressure on you, Mortimer.
Look, just calm down, monsieur.
You stopped me from ending it all. Because of you, I've had to pay for it. You don't know what it's like. He's in your head. He's in your soul. I never want to feel that again.
Jacques, I did not betray you.
You're just like him.
Monsieur Peru, I don't even know what this is all about.
It's quite simple. You're like them.
If that's enough to make me unforgivably evil, then I'd prefer you shoot. But I don't feel as if I've changed. I'm still the same man I was an hour ago.
They will corrupt you. It's inevitable.
And I won't be able to resist, like you are now.
Well...
Give me the benefit of the doubt. Think about it a moment.
So, what are you gonna do now? You've just found out your true nature. What difference does it make?
Ahora me voy aquí y ahora sí lo hago. Protocolo y ciclo. Pero no es resistente a nada.
Jack, I can assure you that what Lord Mortimer just told me makes no difference.
That's what you think. But you're already in his hands. And you don't even know it, Louis.
No, Jack, it's the contrary. Everything that's been happening here has been carefully planned by the Golden Order for months. And everything is going exactly as planned. Lower your weapon. It's all right. It's over. You'll make it through. And you're going to get your life back.
You're just like him. You are already. You can't see it, or you don't want to see it, but it's already too late. In fact, I haven't got any choice.
You always have a choice. You know very well what will happen to you if you shoot me. You're going to be held accountable, and you will lose everything, starting with your freedom.
and then your head.
I told you, I don't care.
Not about yourself, maybe, but what about your daughter? It wouldn't be the same for her, would it?
Shut up! Shut up!
Para eso sirve leer todas las cosas de la
In a world
habitación y
you know
todo
is
eso.
hostile. What will
Te
become?
dan opciones en las conversaciones.
That's true, but...
Don't abandon her. Not a second time. It's your last chance, my friend. It's over. Come now, monsieur.
You know what I told you. Evil and good depend on you, and not on your nature.
Yes, it's true, and the same holds true for all of us.
Monsieur Peru, I am willing to overlook this latest scene. You can thank my son for that. I think, however, that you ought to take your leave for your good and ours, as well as that of your daughter.
Está tensa la cosa.
Not too shaken up. You've experienced many significant events since your arrival.
To tell you the truth, I don't get much time to ask myself those questions.
Quite right. Best not to react to all this too suddenly. Take some time to think about it all. For now, I think you ought to find Sarah, my son. You ought to talk things over with her.
So she's been lying to me all along?
Let her justify herself. What's done is done.
Me ha contado una verdad a medio.
Herself. You must clear the air.
Yo creo que
We'll
es
have all the
mi
time
padre,
we
pero
need to talk
yo también es mi madre.
afterwards. But all in good time. Before you join her, I'd like to give you something. As a demon, I would like to introduce you to your first talent.
What do you mean?
Open your mind, my son. Relax. You hold immense power. It's already there inside you. Empty your mind of all thoughts. Just let me show you the way.
I should relax.
Open your mind. Hear my voice. Feel the vibrations and listen to what has been happening to you deep inside, but which you have been concealing. Trust yourself. It's all already in there.
I can hear something.
Now breathe.
It's a sound, very faint.
That's right. Concentrate on it. My voice is growing fainter, but I am here.
Whispers, words, mixed voices.
Focus on one of them. Don't be afraid.
I sense a stream. Some words are clear, but not all of them.
Let them enter into your mind.
I hear them. Now I can hear a clear voice.
Well done, Louis. Congratulations.
What was it?
You are now able to read people's minds.
What?
You heard me. From now on, whenever a human speaks to you, you will be able to read their current thoughts. So, if you need to know something in particular from someone, all you have to do is make them think about it.
But I'd be violating their minds, wouldn't I?
No, nothing of the sort. You won't really be penetrating their psyches. Let's just say you'll be picking up residual signals emitted by their thoughts. It isn't intrusive at all. There are also a few rules you need to know that govern this talent. When you... between ourselves.
Hay más cosas, ¿no? ¿Cómo está esta relación? Ay, congelo.
read the thoughts of demons as well as of humans. But be careful. A demon more experienced than yourselves will know that you are spying, and will often react quite violently. It's considered bad form to play around the psyche of another demon. It's a question of courtesy. But let's be clear. What is most considered bad form is getting caught. So I would advise against trying to read the thoughts of Gregory, for example.
Home?
Yes, the old grump is touchy, and rather a stickler about the conventions. On that note, go and see Sarah, Louis. Otherwise, she might leave without you. We'll continue this discussion later.
Ah, ya sabe que está en el embarcadero, qué cabrón.
Join me in my study when you
Pero
finish.
me habrá leído lo mismo.
You're right. I need to go now. See you later, Father.
One more thing. If you want to know the truth about your birth, ask her about Paris, 1763, at 12 Rue des Martyrs. That's where she disemboweled your mother to steal you from me.
Yeah. Joder.
It's not that I regret all these discussions, but I must hurry to the wharf.
Claro que ahora le puedo hablar a mí. Sí, a ver, me busca por aquí, casita. Penalización. Tengo... Que nada, tío. Una puta moneda. Ay. Puedo abrirlo. Voy a abrir al principio ya no.
Emily, what are you doing? You wouldn't have seen... Mother? No!
Hostia.
No, what's happened? No, Mother! No!
She's ruined my life, Louis. I am sorry.
What were you thinking?
Emma meant everything to me. Your mother destroyed everything by shooting her. She was me, and I was her. Dear God, I beg you, make him kill me. I've had enough of it all. I no longer have the strength in me.
Vamos a gastar un poco en ello, pero pensándome que es que no tengo... será matarla. No, a lo que ella quiere. Hace caer.
I needed to talk to her. She was going to tell me everything.
I am sorry. I did what Emma would have done.
Venga, toma por culo.
She was going to tell me everything.
Vaya muerte más penosa. ¡Qué cutre! Para eso me... Qué curte. Ya. ¿Y cómo lo hubiese evitado? Evitando el duelo con Napoleón. Ah, yeah. Tío. Qué liada, tío. Si no tengo ya. Bueno, pues nada.
Rational and open. I spent my whole life swimming in lies. Emma, what a bloody mess. I've been completely manipulated. I feel like I know nothing. That I have to learn everything all over again. I'm a demon. I age more slowly. I can mentally manipulate people. I don't even know if it's a good thing or a curse.
Es un tonto.
No, this is an advantage.
Y ya va engañando todo el juego, ahora se va a arrepentir por la...
Come on,
putamente.
man up, Louis. I'm still the same old me. Demon or not, I'm still in charge of my actions. And this father, I know nothing about. Yes, I've still got a lot to learn. It's enough to drive you crazy. Everything I believed in, nothing holds true anymore. Pull yourself together, man. I need to find some answers. There's no way of being alone for a minute?
Yeah, que está tío. You know,
Inferno by Dante. Abandon hope, all ye who enter here.
Lovely lectures Mortimer's giving to his guests. Very jolly.
Hey, ¿cómo hace? ¿Algo por la habitación tal? ¿O no? O vaya vaina. Yo me quería ir. No quiero abrir la puerta. Te digo. Mataba a la mano. Voy a ver quién era el puto pesado que viene. Me dice el Gregory y le la mente.
Sir Gregory?
Hombre, que me parte la cara.
I think it would be good to talk.
No quiero.
How are you feeling?
I don't know.
I understand. I heard that William spoke to you at last about our nature and our
Es que
family.
tienen pinta de demonio, tío.
But you must be a bit shaken up.
That's the least you can say.
I bid you welcome among us, Louis. Knowing William, he probably didn't go into any detail about our family, so if you have any questions, don't hesitate to ask.
How long has our family been in existence?
We have been here since the very beginning.
What do you mean, exactly?
Are you trying to get information from me?
No, not at all. I was just wondering why that particular question seemed to disturb you.
Let us not insist, then. You yourself weren't very convinced by the question, it seems.
How many of us are there in the family?
We are 8 brothers and sisters.
What do you mean by brothers and sisters if we can change bodies?
You reason with logic. We have retained the human habit. When we first come into this world, we retain a certain attachment to our first envelope. If we are born as a man, we are brothers. If we are born as a woman, we are sisters. But I must admit, it has absolutely no real importance. They're just bodies.
Well, tell me then, are there any other families like ours?
There are officially 7, but we're the oldest and therefore the most powerful.
What's Lord Mortimer's problem?
I think he allows himself to be devoured by a need for recognition.
Has he always been like that?
More or less, but thinking about it, I believe that the birth of our latest sibling greatly accentuated his discomfort.
Do you think he's jealous?
I didn't realize you were so good at behavioral analysis. Indeed, William certainly is prone to jealousy. Finding one's place, notably in the eyes of our father, is not easy, and we each do what we can to succeed. But I can't justify this perpetual rebellion against our rules.
Is there a head of the family?
You'll see. You'll meet them all, of course, when you are ready. They created us and set out the rules, especially our father. As for our mother, she retired from the political stage. We don't see her much anymore. I think that all these questions simply bore her.
I see. There is still much to learn.
Yes, it's true. You've got some catching up to do, my boy. One thing you must understand regarding any disagreements that might arise between William and myself is his position with regard to mankind.
What do you mean?
Well, for centuries we've been trying to help and therefore preserve humanity. Monarchies are simple and practical. They enable us to inspire humanity efficiently, and I can't understand why William wants to replace them with democracy.
If your intention is not to dominate the human race, why not let them be master of their own destinies?
I perfectly understand this type of reaction from you, less from William. The main thing you're lacking is time. Man is transient, and one of his particularities is that he does not learn.
Es verdad, no aprenden de los errores, ¿no?
He uses up an incredible amount of energy building and destroying whatever he himself has put into place. If we weren't here to help them, guide them, I sincerely believe that humanity would have become extinct.
Me lo creería.
We are eternal, Louis. When we plan ahead, we do it for the long term.
Well, indeed, from that point of view, it is better to guide them.
It's rare for a novice demon to manage to stop thinking like a man so quickly. It has taken centuries for our family to establish relative peace between demons. Thanks to this policy, we have been able to decide everything by confining the other families to subordinate roles. And now William is obsessed with disrupting everything.
Peace between demons? What do you mean?
I'm not talking about conflicts within our family. If that was all there was, everything would be fine. But several other families, younger but nonetheless powerful, are trying to upset the balance. At present, we dominate most of the major countries around the globe. But some families are pushing, via less influential countries, to gain ground. Do you understand?
As best I can, yes.
When the time comes, you must take up a position on the political chessboard. I only hope your father doesn't take you down with him.
Are you offering me an alliance?
Louis, I do not believe that just because your father is mistaken, all is lost for you. You owe William nothing, so there's nothing obliging you to support him. I want you to make an informed choice. Now go and see your father, see what he has to say, and then think it over very carefully.
That's exactly what I intended to do. Thank you, Uncle.
Don't mention it. If I've been able to help you in any way, go now.
¿La lanza para qué, tío? Ahora no me piensan contar para qué contar. ¿A dónde es? Siempre pego toda la vuelta al edificio. Pero sí, desde el primer capítulo. Siempre pego vuelta. Mira. Estamos ahí lindamente. Acá.
I haven't the time.
¿Cómo que no? Que te voy a la mente. ¿Qué tía más? Era súper fácil y ahora no puedo. Mira, allí está Washington. Vamos a ir la mente. Por aquí se sube, ¿vale? Perfecto. Vamos a ir la mente.
Louis, busy as always, I see.
Este es
How
súper guapo.
lucky you are. I must admit I'm trying to kill
Yo
the
también voy a
boredom
matar al
myself.
aburrimiento leyendo de la mente.
I get the impression we're all in the same boat.
And here I was thinking you might have some juicy gossip.
Well, Mr. Godoy heard that we are expecting a last-minute guest.
Pardon?
Yes, a certain Al-Azif.
Strange. Doesn't ring a bell.
Well, I might as well not hang out here any longer, if he has nothing to say.
Me neither.
He must have misunderstood. The conference has started. Godoy is a little too used to court intrigue, if you ask me.
I agree with you. Well, nevertheless, I hope I have distracted you a little.
Yes, thank you, Louis. I don't need much. And don't hesitate if you ever do have any news.
I won't, Mr. President.
Bien. Vamos a hablar con el Papa. Con The New Papa. Era aquí, ¿no? Ahí está. Ahora se va a dar cuenta que me cargó el padre.
Louis, I was sure you would stay. I'm proud of you. You have made the right choice. You must have been
¿Qué decisión
disappointed
si se la han
not to
cargado?
have been able to speak to Sarah one last time. I would have liked her to tell you herself.
Seguro que has manipulado a la otra para que la mate.
I guess I'll never know now.
True. Even so, there is one more thing I haven't told you about her. Sarah was my daughter.
¿Cómo?
But why didn't you tell me the truth about her?
I thought that might be too many truths to absorb at one time. I intended to tell you afterwards. You were in a hurry, so I made a decision. You've been able to understand and choose for yourself. How do you feel?
Hard to say.
Diga.
Quite curious to find out more. My whole way of thinking has been blown apart in just a couple hours.
What could be more normal? It may have been a bit brutal, but you've just grown up in a very short space of time. From now on, you can influence your own future. I will guide you. We've all the time we need.
You're not the first to make me that offer.
What do you mean by that?
Your brother, Sir Gregory.
Gregory. Why am I not even surprised? What did he say?
I think he's worried about you.
Worried? Marvelous. That's just like him. You know, in a family like ours, we all have a role to play. And his is to worry about everyone else. Let me reassure you, there's no reason for him to worry about me.
And what would my role be in all of this?
That's for you to decide. I'm not trying to force you, Louis. I have high hopes for you, but the decision remains yours to make. I don't impose anything on anyone. I'm just following my own path.
But where does it lead?
I suppose I should explain. For centuries now, demons have emerged in and around great leaders all over the world. But like true tyrants, they have governed with an iron fist in a studded glove.
That's the impression I get.
But you see, people's discontent is increasing, and they are too high up to hear it. They take themselves for gods. Sooner or later, the people will turn against us, just as they have in the past. Each time it's happened, many of us have died. We must master the humans, yes, but gently. And the best way of doing that is by allowing them a free choice, Louis.
You really are trying to liberate men.
Of course, not entirely, no. It is easier to keep control over people who slumber than people who are oppressed. A man with nothing to lose is a dangerous man. Whereas, if you give him roof, food, and entertainment, he will do whatever you want. The best way of getting them to achieve something is to make them think it was their idea. For that, they have to feel as if they are free.
Hang on. What do you mean?
Look at the United States. From the start, I introduced an idea that will change everything. The idea that everything is possible. Everyone can become someone. Is there anything more beautiful?
You mean it's not true?
Man can move mountains when he believes it is in his own interest. And what nobler cause is there than his own freedom?
Do you have any more examples?
Of course.
And what would you propose for women?
They must be given the right to work and to vote. Look, at the moment they don't work. They take care of raising children. What a mistake. We have to get them out of the house. Make them work. In this way, not only will they become consumers, but they will also delegate the job of education to the system. We could guide humanity from a young age, Louis, don't you see? Today we are wasting too much time.
Talk to me about slavery.
Well, take the slave trade, for example. It's an archaic practice that simply has to stop. Today, black slaves of America work for free and in unbearable conditions. Tomorrow, if you free the blacks and offer them work along with a salary, they will bless you for it. Then, they will be integrated into the system. They will be taxable. Once they are free, they will have to work for a roof, pay taxes, and feed their families. Maybe we could take away the civil rights of prisoners, for example. In this way, we'll keep control of all those who respect the system and benefit from the others as a workforce. What obscurantism! By harping on this concept of good and evil, guilt and redemption, look where men are now, locked up in beliefs that should no longer exist. It's time for men to rediscover themselves and to take control of their lives as they really are, without any moral judgment.
Tell me what you think about progress.
Así ha descrito la
It's
actualidad.
essential, Louis. It's the future.
What else?
Progress must liberate humanity from burdensome chores. Progress must replace man wherever his presence is not obligatory. It creates both the desire and the need. It will liberate women as soon as the machines are able to do all the chores in the home automatically. It will bring men together by bringing a faster means of locomotion. Look at the cultural revolution that printing brought about. But the most important of all has already been laid. The foundation stone. Freedom of speech. The First Amendment of the Constitution. There must be opponents to every project. So, above all, don't develop a one-track approach. Otherwise, man won't have enough room for expression to feel free. If man sees his chains, he will only want to break them. If we give men the feeling that they are free, I am convinced that they will exceed their limits. And it is only from that condition that humanity shall rise up.
But do you want to dominate or raise humanity higher?
I want it to advance. I want it to progress. Man is our vessel. If he progresses, then so do we. Wouldn't you like to know what we really are?
Who do you mean? Demons?
Yes, us. Our species. I've been searching for centuries, trying to find a way to explain the reason of our existence, but humanity has not yet evolved enough to make any progress on the subject. I am convinced that the sciences will bring that knowledge someday.
So, that's your objective, is it? To understand who we are. I see your point.
Our family clings to its privileges and to the past, and that's how they are putting us in danger. The time has come for change. Now that you know your true nature, there are still a few things I need to teach you.
What do you mean exactly?
A new skill, and not the least, Louis. It's about taking control of a person.
Okay, let's not waste any more time.
I deduce that you're impatient to master what's in store for you. That is good. I thought I'd mix business with pleasure for this first time.
What do you mean by that?
The conference will come to a close shortly, as you know. Not that I'm fed up with archaic diplomacy, but it's time to ensure the success of this project. To make this happen, I would like Piaggi to inform the Pope he has changed sides. Here is my plan. I would like you to join His Eminence in his room.
Just play along. We'll see when the time comes. Very well. And then?
You're going to have to trust me. What we're going to do is painless for the human you are going to invade.
Invade?
Yes. You're going to enter his mind and take control. You're going to influence his actions and his psyche. Make him speak, then concentrate. You must focus on him in order to feel his thoughts. Then, while speaking, you must link with him. Once you're done, you will naturally find your way to the source and enter into his thoughts.
But what if I fail?
Trust in your instincts. You just have to let yourself go. You have the skill. Let your nature come to the fore. You'll see. If you fail, you'll be in for some light banter with His Eminence. That's all. There's nothing to be afraid of.
Very well.
Perfect. Go now. The Cardinal is in his room. You will have to write a letter to the Pope as if Piaggi had written it himself. In this letter, tell the Pope that whatever happens during the conference, he must follow my propositions. But be careful. In order to protect himself from counterfeiters, the Pope had Piaggi's hand tattooed with a symbol to be sure of his identity. You'll see when you're inside him. You'll understand. Once it's written up, just bring it back to me, and I'll send it off immediately.
All right, I'll take care of it.
No tengo opción de fallar, pero no, parece bien. Sé que me está gustando algo, pero
Ah, well, Louis, what brings you back to my chambers?
May I sit down?
Of course, Louis. Don't you feel good?
Yes, but if I'm gonna pass inside you, I'd better sit myself down first. It's nothing, don't worry about it.
Well, what can I do for you?
Right. Now I need to concentrate. I wanted to speak to you, Your Eminence. I wanted to thank you for your help. I mean, for your time talking to me about the Holy Lands.
Oh, and did you find it? It's the crusade of a lifetime for some people, Louis. You are searching for another holy grail.
You're nearly there. Link into his thoughts. Does it annoy you at all?
But what on earth is he trying to get at? Why do you ask, Louis? I don't follow.
For the glory, Your Eminence. I can feel it coming. It's working.
What insolence? Why, really? I am a man of the church, Louis. May God keep me from such ambitions.
Right. Let me in, Your Eminence.
Why?
I've done it. I've done it, damn it. He was right. This is just crazy. I can't believe it. Look at yourself, Louis. You better not get caught. Whoa. still need to get used to this body. So, let's see about what Mortimer asked me. Right. Well, it's time I got started. Let's see what I can find here to help me write that letter. I have no means to validate my forgery, so I better take my time with it and not make any mistakes. There are 2 letters from the Pope on the desk. I should be able to get a clue or 2 by checking how well they correspond to each other. And here are 3 stamps. All are different.
Ay. Que tiene que... ¿Qué coño son esas letras?
There's a kind of code composed of 6 letters that they always write under the dates of their correspondence. According to Mortimer, it's got something to do with Piaggi's tattoo.
Mano,
I guess I'll have to write one for today's date. Now, ideally, it'd be better to do without it, but I'm going to need to be extremely clever here. Today, the date is 24/01/1793.
Joder. El 31. A ver, el 17 está pasando la... El 31. Sí, pero pues por... Ah, porque aún es...
In the letters from the Pope, there are 6 letters just below the date, 2 just below the month, 4 others below the year. Piaggi's tattoo. It must be used to establish a connection between the letter of the concentric circle and the numbers shown in the middle.
Deja de mover la mano. Ya. Una G debajo del 1. Capo en la sangre. Madre. ¿Qué? Me cago.
Some figures are the same in both codes, yet they correspond to different letters. The day is not translated. That must be the key to the code. Today the date is 24/01/1793.
La clave es el... Ya. Y es la posición, ¿vale? Pues si tengo el 24, empiezo en el 24 que es A, 0, pues 24A, y si este, yo quiero poner A,
Today the date is 24/01/1793.
F,
Today the date is 24/01/1793. Today the date is 24/01/1793.
empieza banano, 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 7, café,
Today the date is 24/01/1793.
las dos más para allá, la H,
Today the date is 24/01/1793.
F, I, G, G.
Today is the 24/01/1793.
Vamos a ver, está malito. Va para atrás.
In one of the letters, the Pope asked Piaggi to change and to stop using his personal stamp. He asked him to use the one with the Pope's motto on it. And I remember that. Flore in Domo Domini. Justitia, misericordia e humiltà. Boy, I gotta brush up on my foreign languages. Piaggi once gave me a sealed letter. It had the same seal on it. I remember now. On it is written, Flore in Domo Domini. Latin, it blooms in the house of God.
El contenido. ¿Con WhatsApp? Elegí contenido.
Right. Well, let's start writing. Lord Mortimer asked me to discredit Sir Gregory and to announce Piaggi's final vote in his favor. As an introduction, Your Holiness, thank you for your trust. It even appears that Lord Mortimer and Sir Gregory both have access to obscure, superior forces to help them reach their ends. I think that the Papal States, for the sake of their own preservation, ought to condemn this practice of conferences in the future.
Your Eminence, all ready to send... What's he doing here?
Damn it. That's all I need.
Don't worry, he can't hear us.
What do you mean he can't hear us? What's going on here? Because the old goat is going to drop us. It's a lousy turncoat. Well, he'd better not tell me he just fell asleep.
Tu ocultismo va a ser resistente.
Calm down now. Monsieur de Richet came to see me because he was having anxiety attacks and wanted something to help him relax. I'm afraid I've been a little heavy-handed.
You can say that again.
I was about to fetch someone to take care of him. Would you care to...
Era débil.
There he is, and there he stays. It's a perfect opportunity.
What do you mean?
It's been a while now that I've been hoping for a chance to get rid of him. Can you keep a secret?
Of course, my son. Would you like to tell me under the confidentiality of confession?
Ah, don't talk rubbish. I don't trust the little runt because he is Mortimer's son. Would you believe it?
How does he know?
Dear God, how is that possible? I am flabbergasted.
We've wasted enough time. What if he wakes up? If you don't want to get your hands dirty, just turn away and leave everything to me.
This is not a decision to be taken lightly.
You're defending him now.
What are you talking about? Of course not.
He's made you change sides, hasn't he?
I refuse to get involved. That's against the rules, for heaven's sake.
The rules? The consequences of the conference could well destabilize the world order. It's our duty to shelve Mortimer's project. And to accomplish that, anything goes.
Monsieur von Von, I always act in the best interest of all. I assure you.
Everyone's entitled to an opinion.
You must have lost your mind to want to take such an extreme course of action.
No one's asking you to help me do it. He is capable of reporting me to Sir Gregory. I'm really risking my neck here.
If you lay a finger on him, I'll denounce you to Sir Gregory. I'm warning you.
You old weasel! Piaggi, you win.
I refuse to let you do the first thing that comes into your head.
I don't know what the two of you are up to, but I'll find out sooner or later.
Right. Time for me to get back into my body. Right. Don't just stand there, Louis. Mortimer's waiting for you in the red salon.
Te imagino que aquí acaba el capítulo de hoy. Como siempre me da. Mira, mira que viene le pega de culo. Ay, en el comedor, tío, eso me pasa por no leer. Con pulso.
Pardon me, monsieur, but I have work to do.
What?
What can I do for
Dame
you,
algún
sir?
objeto.
I am at your service day and night.
Ok,
sir.
dame algún objeto.
As I was unable to bring my personal effects with me, I was wondering if you could find me a few items.
Venga, dame algo.
Of course, sir. What would you require?
¿Cuál? Agua.
A little Carmelite water would do me a lot of good. Could you find me some, please?
Oh, the tonics are under lock and key, sir. Lord Mortimer only allows access to them in
Pero soy
cases
allí,
of emergency.
así que lo da.
What? That's the last straw. Lord Mortimer himself asked me to take the sea to join him here. I accepted out of kindness. The voyage was undertaken in conditions that I prefer not speak about. And then at long last I arrive and you refuse me a simple flask of Carmelite water?
No, sir. I...
Your name. Tell me your name.
Here, sir, your Carmelite water. Please accept my sincerest apologies. If sir requires anything else whatsoever, sir has only to ask.
Análisis dorado.
You wouldn't have a little golden elixir I could use, would you?
Oh, unfortunately, sir, I have orders not to give any of that
Uy, que no.
medicine to any of Lord Mortimer's guests. Some guests are here to follow a very strict treatment. Mixing or combining certain substances would be dangerous for sir.
Un demonio. Bueno. Es que me quedo sin puto. Vale. Venga, salud. A ver cómo da tal. Oh, tío, qué lío de casa. Aquí. Así. Vaya lío de casa. ¿Sabes dónde estoy? Venga.
Atrus, the Miller brothers. Mother expressly forbade me from reading it.
Ardi, ¿dónde estás? Se bugueó el güey.
So, Louis, what was your first time like? Bewildering, isn't it?
Here's your letter. I have to admit that the experience was utterly amazing.
Come, tell me more.
Everything went as planned. I didn't encounter any particular difficulties.
Well done, you. On my first try, well, it took me 3 goes. But you did it. Gregory, what can I do for you?
I've just come to make sure dear Louis has all the information he needs.
Needs for what?
You are free to make your own choices, William. I would like the same for him, too.
There's nothing I want more, Gregory.
Your schemes will lead to your demise, brother. Don't involve Louis. He has nothing to do with all this. The end of the conference approaches, and this masquerade will soon be torn aside.
¿Amenaza de muerte?
Don't drag him down with you in your disgrace.
Oh, ye of little faith.
On the contrary, brother, Louis has just entered the family. Give him a chance to find his place.
His place?
Don't listen to him. He's angry with our father.
And with good reason. He governs us in the same way he governs humanity, through fear and submission.
Same old tune. When will you understand that it's necessary to impose order for things to move forward properly?
You are under his thumb and proud of it.
Open your eyes, for crying out loud. His whole system has become outdated, and he's too old to see it. He will lead us to our demise.
Here he goes with another of his grand speeches. William has always been fond of staging big scenes. It's his theatrical side.
Does he have an inferiority complex?
I've told him time and time again, Louis. He always has to take it one step too far.
How dare you?
You are blind, brother. Even if the evidence bit you on the nose, you still wouldn't see it. I feel sorry for you.
Tea is drunk hot or not at all, William. When will you learn? It's too bitter. You shouldn't let it brew so long.
I knew you'd be coming along. You are so predictable.
Methodical, I would say. Things must be accomplished in the right order if we want the world to keep turning as it does.
You came here to warn me, sir.
No, to advise you.
Advise me against my father. Why?
I think you are capable of deciding for...
You haven't answered my question. Why warn me against my father? What are you afraid he will do to me?
Well, I wouldn't want him to lead you into... I don't know what absurd adventure in which...
You act as though I were in danger.
I agree with Louis, Gregory. You're trying to pass me off as a villain about to devour him.
That's not funny, William. I won't let him follow you.
You see, Louis, Gregory came here to make you change your mind. It's time for things to change. I acknowledge Father has done many good things for humanity, but his time is over, and now he must pass on the torch.
That's enough. There, Louis. That's the pathetic example your father has to offer. I really am sorry about what happened to you. You don't know our family yet. We can't have given you a very good impression, but bear in mind that we are all against William's project.
On the contrary.
If he insists on going through with it, we will have no other choice than to intervene by force. Consequently, my dear Louis, you're going to have to choose sides. I would much rather have met you in different circumstances.
There you are, Louis. See what happens when you don't follow their orders to the letter.
Louis, I'm afraid the time to decide is now. If you follow William, he will drag you down with him. If, on the other hand, you support me, I can assure you that nothing will happen to you. You won't be blamed for your father's errors.
Ah, the masks are off. I offer you liberty. He obliges you to choose, and shamelessly asks you to betray your own father. That is their true face.
Right. Before I answer, well, I'd better think it over very carefully. Do I intend to embrace my demon nature and take my place on the chessboard? Do I stay out of it and do my utmost to stop them? Or do I renounce my nature and do all I can to stay human? It's useless trying to resist my true nature. I'm a demon. May as well accept it. The sooner the better. Even if I continue to live as a human, all my friends and acquaintances will inevitably end up dying. And I'll be left on my own, forever. I am a demon and I have to behave like one. The sooner, the better.
So? What do you choose, Louis?
La idea de este son.
I shall follow my father, Sir Gregory.
Very well. But don't say I didn't warn you.
Que no me amenaces.
Please, don't take offense, but I just can't turn my back on him.
It's time we finished what we started, brother. The final vote of the conference over the acquisition of Louisiana will take place in a few hours. I propose you gather your troops and prepare to close the debate.
That's precisely what I was going to suggest.
Come, follow me. It's time for us to get ready.
Do you really think we have a chance of winning?
A chance? You don't know me very well, Louis. We are going to win.
But it only takes one person to vote against us, and we'll have lost.
That's true. That's why none of them will. Why? Because I have an asset that they do not.
Which is?
You. My friends, prepare yourselves. The conference is about to resume. The time has come to lay down all our cards.
Pues bien, aquí acabó. Y aquí lo voy a dejar. He hecho todo. Creo que he acabado el episodio. Ya es lo que da el último. Listo. Aquí lo dejo. Quedan los últimos capítulos del último episodio. Y se acabó. Voy a echar para el streaming. Por la noche jugaré a Valorant. Y volveré a estar aquí.